Here we are again, friends, another day absolutely packed with crucial updates that demand your full attention. I'm Andrew Meetrich, and I promise you we're going to connect the dots today. I used to be on the inside, working at a major media outlet, and I saw firsthand how narratives were spun, how truth was often twisted to fit an agenda. That's why I walked away. Now I'm independent, I speak freely, and I'm here to tell you what truly matters, without the filters. If you appreciate this kind of unvarnished truth, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone who needs to hear it. Your support is what keeps this independent voice alive, allowing me to bring you these critical insights every single day. Now, let's kick things off with some truly astonishing news from Britain. It seems Keir Starmer's approval rating has plummeted to an all-time low. A recent survey reveals a staggering 79% of the population are dissatisfied with his performance as Prime Minister, with only 13% actually approving. Think about that for a second. This isn't just bad, it's worse than the previous record low, which was set by Rishi Sunak back in April of this year. So yes, Starmer has set an anti-record, but let's be realistic. He isn't losing any sleep over it. Just like Emmanuel Macron in France, he's not going anywhere anytime soon, despite the undeniably complex situation facing the country. Meanwhile, the UK Secretary of State for Defence, John Healey, has issued a significant call to employers. He's urging them to support staff who want to serve their country by joining the Army Reserve. Healey emphasized that reservists are not just soldiers, they are everyday people, working in offices, factories, and shops during peacetime, but ready to defend the nation when needed. This plea comes on the heels of a worrying poll. It turns out a mere 11% of young Britons are prepared to defend their country if the need arises. Healey believes it's time to change society's attitude towards service, to make it a matter of honor once more. Whether this push will succeed, however, remains a massive, complex question. And let me tell you, this isn't just a British phenomenon. A significant portion of young people globally are showing a similar reluctance to serve. That's why Healey is now publicly thanking those who wear the uniform, stressing that everyone should support reservists, both morally and in their workplaces. Now, shifting our gaze to continental Europe, let's talk about Germany, specifically Munich. There was quite a commotion, an outright panic at the world's largest festival, Oktoberfest. Reports indicate people were screaming, some even in tears. The festival was simply overwhelmed. When an announcement blared over the loudspeakers telling visitors to evacuate the area, without any explanation, it naturally caused widespread alarm and outright panic for many. Oktoberfest had to be temporarily closed last Saturday evening due to excessive crowds. A spokesperson for the Munich municipality later clarified that there were simply too many people. Fortunately, preliminary reports indicate no serious injuries, but the Oktoberfest medical services did register several panic attacks, and those affected were promptly assisted. Many were understandably critical of the loudspeaker announcement, which they felt fueled fear by demanding evacuation without reason. It's easy to see their point, isn't it? This constant fear-mongering, this relentless drumming up of anxiety, it's almost omnipresent now. People are living on edge. That's the stark truth of our times. They came to relax, and instead, they were screamed at to leave. City officials claim temporary closures of Oktoberfest have happened before, but in the past, people didn't react with such intense distress. Beyond the fairgrounds, with their numerous rides and attractions, the main draw of Oktoberfest, of course, are those massive pavilions where you can enjoy a refreshing brew, though getting into one when the festival is overflowing is a rare feat in itself. Still in Germany, things were far from quiet in Berlin. Approximately 60,000 people took to the streets to protest the conflict in the Gaza Strip. Around 2,000 emergency service personnel and police were on site. Protesters loudly demanded freedom for Palestine and called for sanctions against Israel, also urging the German government to halt arms shipments to Israel. The demonstration was organized by about 50 organizations and associations, with the Left Party among the main instigators. Across the border in France, the anger among left-wing factions has intensified even further. Discontent swelled after French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu definitively ruled out introducing a wealth tax on large fortunes. Yes, a wealth tax for the wealthiest French citizens has been rejected. He also dismissed the idea of suspending pension reform. This means, by all indications, that the additional financial burden will likely fall on the shoulders of ordinary citizens. Unsurprisingly, the French are expected to hit the streets once again in early October to vent their frustrations and let off some steam. It's a familiar cycle, isn't it? Now, Let's turn our attention to the United States. Donald Trump continues his brand of military police operations in American cities. This time, order is to be restored in Portland, Oregon. Trump announced he's sending troops to combat Antifa and domestic criminal organizations. The Pentagon has reportedly been instructed to provide all necessary forces to protect, as he put it, war-torn Portland. This move follows weeks of protests, which Trump's opponents claim were paid, against his immigration policies and the actions of U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. Earlier, Trump had also described the situation in Portland as terrible and dramatic. Now, according to a report from the Wall Street Journal, an outlet whose credibility, frankly, has been questionable lately, and we need to be honest about that, though time will tell if this is a leak or reality. The report claims that China's leader is demanding Donald Trump surrender Taiwan as a condition for a trade deal between their countries. The Chinese leader supposedly plans to pressure his American counterpart to formally declare that the United States opposes Taiwan's independence. That's how this publication explains it to everyone. A meeting between Trump and Xi could potentially take place on the sidelines of a summit in South Korea, starting on October 31st this year. We'll be watching closely to see how this unfolds and what decisions are ultimately made. But let's set aside these complex geopolitical maneuvers for a moment. There's an interesting contrast playing out today. While some are trying to avoid natural disasters and others are frantically trying to bolster their armies, citizens in Switzerland are voting on 3 referendums of public interest. They're voting on introducing an electronic identity card, a novelty expected to be approved. They're also voting on abolishing the rental value tax for homeowners. But the third question, that's the most intriguing one. It concerns the use of leaf blowers by municipal services. If the initiative passes, gasoline-powered devices will be completely banned, while more eco-friendly, electric-powered ones will only be allowed during the months of intense leaf fall, from October to December. Opponents of leaf blowers argue they are too noisy, stir up dust, bacteria, and fine particles along with the leaves, generally harming the environment. And let's be honest, they're often used to blow away not just leaves, but any kind of trash, which is simply unacceptable. The emotional debate surrounding this issue has repeatedly attracted media attention across the country and even internationally. So while the rest of us grapple with major global challenges, Switzerland's pressing problem today is leaf blowers. They need to vote on it. Otherwise, they simply don't know how they'll live. Wouldn't it be wonderful, truly remarkable, if everyone in our world had how to blow leaves or not to blow leaves as their biggest problem? These are the key informational moments for today, shedding light on so much. Let me know what you think about everything we've discussed. Your comments are invaluable. So, in summary, we've seen a concerning drop in approval for Keir Starmer in the UK, a critical call for military reservists, and the ongoing struggle to inspire national service. Germany faced public panic at Oktoberfest and significant protests in Berlin over the Gaza conflict. France is bracing for more unrest as the government rejects wealth taxes and pension reform suspensions. In the US, Trump is sending troops to Portland, and a controversial report hints at China's demands regarding Taiwan. Finally, Switzerland is holding referendums, with the seemingly quaint but passionately debated issue of leaf blowers taking center stage. Friends, that's our dive into the headlines for today. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this broadcast. Your active engagement helps this channel grow and allows us to keep pushing for truth and context in a world that desperately needs it. Become a sponsor if you can. It makes a real difference. Until next time, I wish you peace. And believe me, there's always more to share. All the best.